Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read Genesis 10 to 18, Proverbs 20, and Psalm 56. That's the start. These are generation of sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Sons were born to them after the father. Sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, and Tiras. The sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Rephath, and Tekoa. Sons of Javan, Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodan. From these coastline people spread in their lands, each with his own names by their clans and their nations. And sons of Ham, Cush, Egypt, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush, Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Ramah, and Sabteka. And the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Judah. And Cush father Nimrod. He was the first on earth to be a mighty hunter. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Therefore it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. In the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh. In the land of Shinar. From that land he went into Assyria and built Nineveh, Rehoboth, Calah, and Resen. And Resen between Nineveh and Calah, that is a great city. Egypt followed Ludum, Anamim, Lehabim, Naphtuhim, Pathrusim, Casluhim, and Kephtorim. Canaan followed Sin, his firstborn Heth, and the Jebusites, the Amorites, the Girgashites, the Hivites, the Arkites, the Sinites, the Arvadites, the Zemarites, and the Hamathites. Afterward the clans of the Canaanites dispersed. And the territory of the Canaanites extended from Sidon in the direction of Gerar as far as Gaza, and in the direction of Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zeboim as far as Lasha. These are sons of Ham by their clans, their languages, their lands, and their nations. To Shem, the father of all the children of Eber, the elder brother Japheth, children were born. The sons of Shem, Elam, Asa, Arpachshad, Lod, and Aram. The sons of Aram, Ashol, Gether, and Mash. And Arpachshad fathered Shelah, and Shelah fathered Eber. To Eber were born two sons. Named the one was Peleg, for in his days the earth was divided. His brother's name was Joktan. Joktan fathered Almadad, Shelah, Hazarmaveth, Jerah, Hadoram, Uzal, Dikla, Obal, Abimael, Sheba, Ophir, Havel, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan. The territory in which they lived extended from Mesha in the direction of Sephar to the hook of the east. These are the sons of Shem by their clans, their languages, their lands, and their nations. These are the clans of the sons of Noah according to genealogies and their nations. From these nations spread abroad on the earth after the fall. And the whole earth had one language and same as people migrated from the east. They found a plain in the land of Shinar and settled there. And they said to one another, "Come, let's make bricks and build them thoroughly." And they had breakfast and bitumen for mortar. And they said, "Come, let's build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the heavens. And let's make a name for ourselves, lest we be dispersed over the face of the whole earth." And the Lord came down to see the city and the town which the children of men had built. And the Lord said, "Behold, they are one people, and they all have one language. And this is only the beginning of what they will do. And nothing that they propose to do will now be impossible for. Come, let's go down in their confusion and language, that they may not understand one another's speech." So the Lord dispersed them, and from there over the face of all the earth. He left off building the city. Therefore his name was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth. And from there the Lord dispersed them over the face of all the earth. These are the generations of Shem. When Shem was 100 years old, he fathered Arpachshad 2 years after the fall. When Shem lived after he fathered Arpachshad 500 years, and other sons and daughters. And Arpachshad had lived 35 years, he fathered Shelah. And Arpachshad lived after he fathered Shelah 430 years, and other sons and daughters. Shelah lived 30 years, he fathered Eber. And Shelah lived after he fathered Eber 403 years, and other sons and daughters. And Eber lived 334 years, he fathered Peleg. And Eber lived after he fathered Peleg 430 years, and other sons and daughters. And Peleg lived 30 years, he fathered Reu. And Reu lived after he fathered Reu and 209 years, and other sons and daughters. And Reu had lived 32 years, he fathered Saru. And Reu lived after he fathered Saru 207 years, and other sons and daughters. And Saru had lived 30 years, he fathered Nahor. And Saru lived after he fathered Nahor 200 years, and other sons and daughters. And Nahor had lived 29 years, he fathered Terah. And Nahor lived after he fathered Terah 119 years, and other sons and daughters. When Terah lived 70 years, he fathered Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And these are the generations of Terah. And Terah fathered Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran fathered Lot. Haran died in the presence of his father Terah in the land which King Jun owed the Chaldeans. And then Abram and Nahor took wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarah, and the name of Nahor's wife Milcah. Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah and Iscah. Now Sarai was barren; she had no child. Terah took Abram, his son, and Lot, the son of Haran, his grandson, Sarai, his daughter-in-law, and his son Abraham's wife. And they went together, forth together from the Chaldeans, to go into the land of Canaan. When they came to Haran, they settled there. The days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. And the Lord said to Abraham, "Go from your country into your country, into your father's house, to the land I'll show you. I'll make you a great nation. I'll bless you and make your name great, so you'll be blessed. I'll bless those who bless you, and all him who disowns you I'll curse. In you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." So Abraham went, as the Lord told him, and Lot went with him. Abraham was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. And Abraham took Sarai's wife and Lot his brother's son, all their possessions that they gathered. And the heap that they had acquired in Haran, they set to go to the land of Canaan. When they came to the land of Canaan, Abraham passed through the land to the place of Shechem, to Gomorrah. At the time the Canaanites were in the land. And the Lord appeared to Abraham and said, "To your offspring Austrian I gave this line. So he built an obstacle who would appear to. And there he moved to hill country in the east of Beth and pushed his tent. Near Beth on the west and on the east, and there he built an altar to the Lord. And he called upon the name of the Lord. Abraham journeyed on, still going toward the Negev. Now this is found in the land. So Abraham went down to Egypt to sojourn. When the famine surveyed the land, when he was about to go to entered Egypt, he said to Sarai's wife, "And that you are woman beautiful in appearance." And when the Egyptians see you, they'll say, "This is his wife." Then they'll call you, will let you say, "Live." Say, "You are my sister, and may go well with me, because you know my life may be spared for your sake." When Abraham entered Egypt, the Egyptians saw that the woman was very beautiful, and the princes of Pharaoh saw her, and they praised her to Pharaoh. And the woman was taken to Pharaoh's house. And for our sake he dealt well with Abraham. And he had sheep, oxen, male donkeys, male servants, female servants, female donkeys, and camels. And the Lord afflicted Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. So Pharaoh called Abraham and said, "What's this you have done for me? Why did you not tell me that she was your wife? Why did you say she's my sister and took her for my wife? Now then, here's your wife, take her and go." And Pharaoh gave men orders concerning him, and they sent him away with his wife and all that he had. So Abraham went out from Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and loved them until they. Now Abraham was very rich in livestock and silver and gold, and he journeyed on from the Negev as far as Bethel to a place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, to a place where he had made an altar at the first. And there Abraham called upon the name of the Lord. And Lot, who went with Abraham, also had flocks and herds and tents. And so that the land could not support both of them dwelling together, for their possession was so great they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abraham's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. And that time the Canaanites and the Perizzites were dwelling in the land. And Abraham said to Lot, "That there be no strife between you and me, and between your herdsmen and my herdsmen, for your kinsmen. Leave not the whole land before you separate yourself from me. If you take the left hand, I will go to the right. If you take the right hand, I will go to the left." And Lot lifted up his eyes and saw the Jordan Valley was well water everywhere, like the garden of the Lord, like land in Egypt in the direction of Zoe. So Lot chose for himself all the Jordan Valley, and then Lot journeyed east, thus they separated from each other. Abraham settled in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled among the seas of the and moved his tent as far as Sodom. Now the men of Sodom were wicked, great sinners against the Lord. And the Lord said to Abraham, after Lot had separated from him, "Lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward and southward and eastward and westward. For the land that you see I will give to you, and to your offspring forever. I will make your offspring as the dust of the earth, and if one can count the dust of the earth, your offspring also can be counted. Arise, walk through the length and the breadth of the land, for I will give it to you." So Abraham moved his tent and came and settled by the oaks of Mamre, which are at Hebron. And there he built an altar to the Lord. And there is Amraphel, king of Shinar, Ariel, king of Elzah, Chedorlaomer, king of Elah, and Tidal, king of Goy. And these kings made war with Beer, king of Sodom, Bersha, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, Shemabah, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela. All these joined forces in the valley of Sidon. 12 years they served Chedorlaomer, and the 13th year they rebelled. In the 14th year Chedorlaomer and the kings who were with him came and defeated the Rephaim and Ashtaroth, Conner, Azuzim, and Ham, Ammon, and Sheba, Kiriath, and the Horites in the hill country set as far as El Paran, the lord of the waters, and turned back and came to El and Mishpah, and defeated the country of the Amalekites, as the Amorites who were dwelling in houses on Tamar. And the king of Gomorrah, King Admah, the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela went out, and they joined Bela in the valley of Sidon with Chedorlaomer, king of Elah, and Tidal, king of Goy, Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Ariel, king of Elzah, four kings against 5. The valley of Sidon. Sidon was full of bitumen pits, and as the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some fell into them, and the rest fled to the hill country. So the enemy took all the possessions of Sodom and Gomorrah, and all their provision, and went their way. And they also took Lot, the son of Abraham, his brother, who was dwelling in Sodom, and his possessions, and went their way. And one who escaped came and told Abraham the Hebrew, who was living by the oaks of Mamre the Amorite, and brother Eshcol and Aner. These are allies of Abraham. When Abraham had his kingdom and been taken captive, he led forth his trainmen and built in his house 318 of them, and went and pursued as far as day. And he divided his forces against him by night, he and his servants, and defeated them, and pursued them to Hob, north of Damascus. And he brought back all the possessions, and Bersha brought back his kinsman Lot, his possessions, the woman and the people. And after his return from the field of Chedorlaomer, and King Saul with him, and King Saul went out to meet him at the valley of Sheba. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He blessed him and said, "Blessed be Abraham by God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be God Most High, who has defeated all your enemies into your hand." Abraham gave him a tenth of everything. King of Salem said to Abraham, "Give me the persons, and take the goods for yourself." Then Abraham said to King of Salem, "I have lifted my hand to the Lord God Most High. I said to heaven and earth, I would not take a third of sin or struggle anything as yours, lest you should say, I made Abraham rich. I take nothing but what the young men have eaten, and the share of the men who went with me. Let Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre take their share." After these things, the word of the Lord came to Abraham in a vision. "Fear not, Abraham, I am Yeshua, and your reward shall be very great. And Abraham said, Lord God, what will you give me? For I continue childless, and the head of my house is Eliezer Damascus. And Abraham said, Behold, you give me no offspring, and men, but my household will be my heir. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him, this man will not be your heir, and your very own son shall be your heir. And he brought him outside and said, Look toward heaven and number the stars, if you are able to number them. And he said to him, So shall your offspring be. And he believed the Lord, and he counted to him as righteousness. And he said to him, I am the Lord who brought you out of the earth of Chaldeans to give you to this land to possess. He said, Lord God, how am I to know that I shall possess it? And he said to him, Bring me a heifer 3 years old, a female goat 3 years old, and a ram 3 years old, a turtle dove and a young pigeon. And he brought them all these, cut them in half, and laid each half over against the other. He had not cut the birds in half, and the birds of prey came down on the carcass. Abraham drove them away. And as the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell on Abraham, and behold, dreadful and great darkness fell upon them. And the Lord said to Abraham, Never sin that your offspring will be sojourners in the land, and it's not theirs, and will be servants there. And they will be afflicted for 400 years. They will bring judgments on the nations of the sea, and also they shall come out with great possessions. And as for you, you shall go too far in peace, and you shall be buried in good old age, and you shall come here in the 4th generation. And the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet complete. The sun gone down, and it was dark, and hot smoking fire pot, and a flaming torch passed between these pieces. One day the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, To your offspring I will give this land. I give this land from the river of Egypt to a great river, the river Euphrates, land of the Canaanites, the Canaanites, the Canaanites, and the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Rephaim, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. And as Sarai, Abraham's wife, had born him a children, she female Egyptian son, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said to Abraham, Not now, the Lord has prevented me from bearing children. Go into my son, there may be thou shalt obtain children by her. Abraham listened to the voice of Sarah. So after Abraham had lived 10 years in the land of Canaan, Sarah, Abraham's wife, took Hagar the Egyptian, her servant, and gave it to Abraham, her husband, as wife. And he went into Hagar, and she conceived. And she saw that she conceived. She looked and tell on her mistress. And Sarah said to Abraham, May the wrong done to me be on you. I gave my servant to your embrace. And she saw that she had conceived. She looked on me with contempt. And the Lord judged between you and me. And Abraham said to Sarah, Behold, your servant is in your power. Do toes in your place. And Sarah dealt harshly with her. And she fled from her. The angel of the Lord found her by a spring of water in the wilderness, a spring on the way to Shur. And he said, Hey, I said to Sarah, where have you come from, and where are you going? He said, I'm fleeing from my mistress Sarah. The angel of the Lord said to her, Return to your mistress and submit to her. The angel of the Lord said to her, I will surely multiply your offspring, so that they cannot be numbered. And the angel of the Lord said to her, You are pregnant, and shall bear a son, and you shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord has listened to your affliction. And he shall be a one donkey of man, his hand against everyone his hand against him. He shall dwell over against all his kinsmen. So she called the name of the Lord who spoke to her, You are God of seeing. But she said, Surely I have seen him who looks after me. Therefore the Lord is called Beer-lahai, Elias being Kadesh and Beer. And Hagar bore Abraham a son, and Abraham called him a son, who Hagar bore Ishmael. Abraham was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael to Abraham. When Abraham was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abraham and said to him, I am God Almighty, and work before me be blameless. I may make my covenant between me and you, and may multiply greatly. Then Abraham fell on his face, and God said to him, My covenant is with you, and you shall be the father of a multitude of nations. No longer shall your name be called Abraham, but your name shall be Abraham. And I made you the father of a multitude of nations. And I will make you exceedingly fruitful, I will make you into nations. And kings shall come from me, and I will establish my covenant between me and you, and your offspring after you throughout the generation for an everlasting covenant, to be God to you and to your offspring after you. And I will guarantee you and to your offspring after you, and your sojourn all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, I will be their God. And God said to Abraham, As for you, you shall keep my covenant, and you and your offspring after you throughout your generations. And this is my covenant which you shall keep between me and you, and your offspring after you. Your male among you shall be circumcised. You shall be circumcised with the flesh of your foreskins, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and you. He who is 8 days old among you shall be circumcised, every male throughout your generations. Whether born in your house or bought with the money from your foreigners, not of your offspring, both he who is born in your house and he who is bought with your money shall surely be circumcised. Here shall my covenant be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And Aaron circumcised the male, and is not circumcised the flesh of his foreskin, shall be cut from his people. He has broken my covenant. God said to Abraham, As for Sarah your wife, you shall not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. I'll bless her. Moreover, I'll give you a son by her. I'll bless her. She shall become a nation. Kings of people shall come from her. And Abraham fell on his face and laughed, and said to himself, Shall a child be born to a man 100 years old? Just Sarah, who was 90 years old, bare a child. And Abraham said to God, Oh, that Ishmael might live for you. God said, No, but Sarah your wife shall bear you a son. You shall call his name Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for you as offspring after him. As to Ishmael, I have heard you. Behold, I have blessed him. I will make him fruitful and multiply greatly. He shall father 12 princes. I will make him into a great nation. And I will establish my covenant with Isaac, and Sarah shall bear to you at this time next year. And he finished talking with him. God went up from Abraham, and then Abraham took Ishmael's son and all those born in his house and bought with money a female woman at Abraham's house, and he circumcised the flesh of their foreskins. That very day the discourse said to Abraham was 99 years old when he circumcised the flesh of his foreskin, and Ishmael's son was 13 years old, and he was circumcised the flesh of his foreskin. That day Abraham and his son Ishmael were circumcised. All the men in his house, theirs born in their house, and theirs born money from a foreigner, were circumcised. And the Lord appeared to him about X of them. He sat at the door of his tent, and he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, 3 men were standing in front of him. He saw them, he ran from the tent door to meet them, and bowed himself to the earth, and said, O Lord, if I have found favour in your sight, do not pass by yourself. And the Lord would be brought and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree, while I bring a morsel of bread, that you may refresh yourselves. After that you may pass on, since you have come to your Sabbath. So they said, do as you were saying. Abraham went quickly into the tent to Sarah, and said, Quick, 3 seeds of fine flour, and knead it, and make cakes. Abraham ran to her and took a calf tender and gave it to you, and they prepared it quickly. He took curds and milk and the calf that he had prepared. So before they stood by them under the tree while they ate. And he said to him, Where's Sarah your wife? And he said, She is in the tent. And the Lord said, I'll surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah your wife shall have a son. And Sarah was listening at the tent door behind her. Now Abraham was Sarah were older, advanced in years, and the way of woman ceased to be with Sarah. Sarah laughed to herself, saying, I have died when my Lord is old. Shall I have pleasure? And the Lord said to Abraham, Why did Sarah laugh and say, Shall I indeed bear a child now that I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? And the appointed time will return to you about this time next year. And Sarah shall have a son. But Sarah denied it, saying, I did not laugh, for she was afraid. He said, No, but you did laugh. And the men said up from there, and they looked down towards Sarah. And Abraham went with them on their way. And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. I have chosen him that he may command his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing righteousness and justice, so that the Lord may bring to Abraham what he has promised him. And the Lord said, Because the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and this sin is very grave, I will go down and see whether they have done altogether according to the outcry that has come to me. If not, I will know. So the men turned from them went towards Sodom. Abraham still stood before the Lord. Abraham drew near and said, Indeed sweep away the righteous with the wicked, and move the 50 righteous within the sea. But he didn't sweep away the place and not spare for the 50 righteous who are in it. Far be it from me to do such a thing, to put the righteous to death with the wicked, set the righteous fare just as the wicked. Far be that from me. Shall not the judge of all the earth do what is just? And the Lord said, If I find 750 righteous in the sea, I'll spare the whole place with their sake. Abraham answered and said, Lord, I have undertaken to speak to the Lord. I am dust and ashes. Suppose 5 of the 50 righteous are unlucky. We will destroy the whole sea for lack of fighting sound. We will not destroy if I find 45 there. And he spoke to them and said, Suppose 40 are found there, and said, For the sake of 40 I will not do. And he said, Let not the Lord be angry, but I will speak. Suppose 30 are found there. He answered, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And he said, Behold, I have undertaken to speak to the Lord. Suppose 20 are found there. He answered, For the sake of 20 I will not destroy. And he said, No, let not the Lord be angry, I'll speak again, but this once. Suppose 10 are found there, and he answered, For the sake of 10 I will not destroy. And the Lord went his way, and he finished speaking to Abraham, and Abraham returned to his place. Proverbs 20. Wine is mock, strong drinkable, whoever's led astray by is not wise. To have a king is like the garlic, and whoever perfects the thing for fits life. It is honor for a man to keep away from strife. Every fool will be quarreling. So good does not plan no order, and he who seeketh always have nothing. Perhaps in a man's heart is like deep water, but a man that understand will draw it out. And any man proclaims sin instead of love, and faithful man you can find. Match works in integrity, blessed are his children after him. And king is to stand through in judgment, when knows all evil with his eyes. He didn't say, I made my heart pure and clean for my sin. And equal ways and unequal measures are both like an abomination to the Lord. He didn't try to make himself known by his acts, but his conduct is pure and upright. He in the sea was made them both. Love not slave, lest he come to body. Open your eyes, you have plenty of bread. Bad says the Bible, when he goes away, then he breaks. His gold and abundance of costly stones, with lips and noise are a precious jewel. Take a man's garment, he put up security for a stranger, and hold it in pledge, and he puts up security for foreigners. And again by deceit, sweet to a man, after his mouth will be full of gravel. And his eyes stars by counsel, by wise guidance wage war. And whoever goes best land, reveals secrets. Whoever will do associate with simple babble, when one curses his father's mother, he will then put out in utter darkness. And inheritance gained hastily in the beginning will not be blessed in the end. And if you don't say, I will pay you, wait for the Lord, he will deliver unequal weights of abomination to the Lord. And false scales are not good. Man steps suffer the Lord. How then can man understand his ways? Stand to say rationally is holy, and to a act only after making vows. Wise king wonders the wicked, and drives the way over them. The spirit of man is a lie, but the Lord, acting always in the best part, selfish love and faithfulness present the king. And by steadfast love stands up hell. And a gory young man is the strength, and slender old man is the grey hair. Those that wind cleanse away, he will strictly clean the innermost parts. Psalm 55. They gracious to me, O God, for men tramples on me all day long and attack oppress me. My enemies trample on me all day long. For many attack me proudly, I am not afraid. I put my trust in you, in God, whose word I praise. In God I trust, I shall not be afraid. All the flesh do to me all day long, they injure my cause. All their thoughts are against me for evil. They so abstract, they wash my steps. And they wait for my life, for their crime will they escape. In wrath cast down on people, so God, you kept count my tossings, put my tears in your bowl. I am not in your book, or my enemies turn back in this day when I call. Yes, I know that goes for me. In God whose word I praise, in the Lord whose word I praise. In God I trust, I shall not be afraid. Look me indeed to me. I must perform my fast to you, O God. I'll render thank offerings to you, to deliver myself from death. Yes, make me before me. I may walk before God in the light of life. Yes, I should I did Lord's faith with back hands following the hallelujah, and you can come, you will be done, not has his habit. His dead day, but forgive us those who speak of debtors, least not, name us the evil one. It is king of the group of Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.